So I'm up in the, where am I, Forest of Galloway. Found a nice quiet little spot. It's not the best views. I've just been talking to a guy who walked past, and he had a peregrine falcon. He was out training it. He was only like 3 months old or something. It's fascinating talking to him. And he says that there's better views further up, but you're quite exposed. And so I think it's going to get a bit windy and a bit wet tonight. So I'm going to stay down here. It's a nice little spot actually. So you've got trees, you see the bike in the background there. And then I'll just quickly show you. So this is where I plonk my tent down. That's where the tent's going to go. There is evidence that someone's been here before. There's a small little fire pit there. Looks like, I don't know, maybe this year, maybe last year. But as you can see, there's actually a road sort of along there. It's in the middle of the picture. You can't really see it, but you can see cars going past. But I think I'm a lot further from the road this time. So I'm not expecting sort of any more visitors or anything at all like that. And there we go. I can walk you over to sort of the path that I've come up. You can see it goes on for quite a way, you know. But it's just another nice peaceful place. You see, I think you still see the guy in the distance there. As you come along, there's the bike loaded up heavy. And what I'll do is I shall get back to you when I've got my tent up. Hiya and welcome back. So tent is set up, as you can see. Got the Van Gogh Banshee 200 again. Really good tent. What I thought I'd do is, I've never really done like a proper introduction to the channel. So the purpose of the channel is that it's basically a if I can do it, anybody can do it type channel. The reason why I'm doing this, it's not for like, you know, to be the next Joe Robinet or TA Outdoors or anything at all like that. I just have the ambition to make a YouTube channel and make a few videos and put them on there. So what I'm going to do is, you know, I'm doing this so that there's just like a bit of a record of my adventures, you know, because to me that's what these are, they're adventures. They're something completely different. You know, I work in the rat race, I live in a city, you know, I've got a family, that sort of thing. And I just wanted to keep a record of how I enjoy myself, how I unwind, that sort of thing. With regards to the if I can do it, anybody can do it mentality, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit of my equipment. Now, I've shown you this stove before. It comes in a really handy bag. I bought it off Amazon. It was like, I don't know, 25 quid if that. It was a real bargain. So I'm going to show you setting that up. Now what I'm also going to show you here is sort of like my survival kit, if you like. It's not a survival kit, well, it is, it's mine, but I'm still, you know, there'd be like ex-army people who sort of laugh at me calling it that. But what I keep in here, okay, if I can get the lid off, is I keep a couple of lights in there. I've got my torch, which it's a nice slimline torch. It's just a go outdoors special, you know. Boom. And then, so I pop that in my pocket, and I keep it on my person all the time. And I also keep my my knife on me at all times as well. So it's just it's a Mora. I forget which one it is now. It's like the basic one, but it's a stainless steel one. It's really good. It's really easy to keep sharp. I've cut myself on it quite a bit, but that's more me being clumsy rather than the knife's fault. And I bought this off Amazon for about £5, and it's rechargeable, and it's an LED light with 2 brightness settings. but it clamps onto anything. It was literally like a fiver, and it's really good. You know, the battery seems to last a long time. You don't really use it a lot, to be fair, but because you can clamp it onto pretty much anything and bend the light around, I've just found it really, really useful. So I'll just bob that down there because it's going in. So what I'm going to do is, I've also, as per usual, I brought kindling with me, just so I'm not having to chop down trees and process wood, and it's all very well and good doing that. And don't get me wrong, when I do it, I enjoy it, but it's a lot of effort, and I don't really know like what I'm doing, identifying different trees and stuff like that, whether it's softwood or hardwood or whatever. But as well, it's just when you're coming out, I want to leave as little trace as possible. And if I come here and chop something down and burn it, and the next person does, and the next person does, and maybe there's a person every weekend doing that, well, you're soon going to have an effect. And for the sake of a fiver, one of those, I mean, yeah, if you were hiking in, you couldn't manage it because of the weight, but I'm not. I'm on a motorbike, and in the winter I'll be in my car. I'm a bit lazy like that. And it just means that you're leaving less impact, and it's a real time saver as well. So what I am going to do is I'm going to show you how I set up. There is something behind there. Is there a rabbit or something? There's definitely something there. Brilliant. Luckily this is Scotland, so you know it's not like a wolf or a lion or something. What's it going to be? It's the most dangerous. It could be a badger. You know, anyway. So what I'm going to do, sorry, without further ado, is I am going to show you setting up my stove and how I make it work and how I get it lit. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So just give me 2 ticks to get ready. Okay, so I've just moved the camera around. This is my stove. So I can never remember whether there's the right way up for it. Yeah, there is. So the 2 side slots, you want those lower down. That's where the tray fits on. Now, you've then got that for, you see it, where are we? There we go. So that just sits like that in there, like so. And obviously, you know, the solid fuel sits on there. You can turn it. There you go, you can see it a bit more, can't you? This is really, really hard stony ground, so we don't need to worry about anything catching fire. Now, that, and I'll show you this in a minute, sits on top. But what I've got in my little kit, there we go, is I've got cotton wool. I've also got a backup emergency knife in there, a lit chapstick, I know, and a couple of tea lights. Now, the way that I work it is I need 2 cotton pads every time I want to start a fire, and I get 1. I've not bothered like putting these in Vaseline or anything at all like that. You know, I just don't think you really need to, and I can't stand the feel of it on my fingers, to be honest with you. And what you need to do, hiya, sorry, the guy I was telling you about before, about the peregrine falcon, he just walked past, just had a quick chat with him. He was telling me he was further up the trail, he could see some pine martins knocking around, so you never know, we might see some of those at some point tomorrow. But let's get back to this. Okay, so I put the cotton pad quite close to the front, and I'll explain that later. Now, with this kindling, you get bits that are sort of pretty rough, okay, and just break them off. Now, what you do need to do is you need to thin the wood right down using your knife. I'll be careful because the amount of times I've cut myself rushing this part, but that old saying, failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Without doubt, I find that to be absolutely true with starting fires. Now, if you go, it takes a bit of time, but if you really split down your wood, even kindling wood like this really, if you rush it or something like that, it just doesn't work. It's, you know, you've got to get it small enough to sort of, to really catch, and catch quickly as well. I mean, there's a variety of ways. You can see there just using the knife. There's some shavings and stuff like that. You might find a few bits of twigs knocking around. Pop those in, and then once you're above, once you've got enough of that, just go a little bit thicker, you see, and then just pop it all on like so. And this, I've learnt this obviously through watching other YouTubers, but to be fair, there's a lot of them and they make it look so easy that it can actually be a little bit intimidating. So what you do is you get it all right, and then it should be good to go. Now I've got, so I've got the one that I'm going to light there, okay, the cotton pad. And what I'll do is I get another one and I just fluff it out a little bit like that, and I just wrap it into there, so it's got like almost like a second stage. And again, right now, if you're a bit impatient like me, you're dying to light it. And so that's it. And then once you get bigger pieces, never hold it with your fingers. So I just use my knife, pop my knife on it, move your feet out of the way. The only thing is, when you use an axe, they can like fly off everywhere, stuff like that. But what you've got there is a decent basis, or a decent base for a fire. I actually find around swinging an axe, it's easier to put your knife on and just tap your knife through. I mean, if you want with a smaller piece like that, do that. Bit of a Billy bonus that, split into three. It doesn't happen often. But just spread, oh, don't build it up and then trash it like that. It's probably not the best way to do it. But then just put, you don't want to put like massive pieces on top, because don't forget, it's still going to be a starting fire. Okay, and as well have a few other pieces that are sort of nice and trimmed down already for when the fire's going. And if it's sort of going really well on one side but failing on another, what you can do is use some nice little thin bits to get it going again, or to, you know, just help it along, because you've only got so much kindling, you've only got so much cotton wool, and if you use it all, then you're kind of in a bit of a pickle really. Okay, so there'll be a little bit more there. Okay, so I've just had to quickly swap my battery. Now, the reason why I'll leave this lower, sorry, this is at this point, I put the top on like that, and it gives it a bit more strength. Now, the reason why I leave the lower cotton wool hanging out a little bit is quite simple. If it's right at the back, when you're tucking your lighter in, it's hard to get to it and you just end up burning your thumb. Alright, so, you know, lessons from experience on that one. So, what I'm going to do, without further ado, in fact I'll just wait for the wind to die down a smidge. It's going to rain any minute, I'm telling you. I just can't be bothered put out. I need to get a new tarp. The tarp I got's too big. So there's that, and you can see hopefully it'll just take. And just so we are aware, tonight's beer is Doombar. It's an amber ale. It's made in Cornwall. Or rather it's named after something in Cornwall. So it's got spicy resinous hop, sweet roasted malts, balanced succulent dried fruit, lightly roasted malt. It's moorish with a subtle bitterness, and it tastes best chilled. And it's great with battered seafood like calamari. Doesn't say anything about steak, which is unfortunate because we're on steak tonight. Alright, so, oh, that's nice. Right, so I'm going to have a bit of time in front of the fire and then I will get back to you. Well, as you can see, the fire's going. Now for tonight, for food, I brought a couple of steaks for me. It looks quite yucky in there. It's not an appetising colour, that, is it? But what of this marinade? I think after I've done maybe like sort of 4, maybe 5 or 6 videos, something like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a video up of the recipes for the marinades I use. So this is actually pomegranate juice based marinade. That it's got oregano in it, it's got garlic in it, it's got olive oil in it and salt and pepper and lemon juice. Ah, I remembered it. Well, yay me. So what I've got this time, £1. So thank you to the other half for getting me those. Should make it a little bit easier. I'm just going to cook them on the fire. I've got my usual wraps, and I've got a few, so I'm sort of rushing a little bit because just talking to a couple of locals, they both said apparently it's forecast rain for tonight. It did not say that on BBC Weather. It really didn't, or maybe I was looking at the wrong day. Could be that. But I want to get my food eaten, cooked and eaten, so that if it does rain, you know what, I can dive in the tent. We can have a tent talk or whatever. But you know, you can still have a couple of beers sort of sitting in the tent. But what you can't do is sort of cook on a fire if it's chucking it down. Yeah, I've got quite a few strips of steak, so I'm hoping to get this like a production line. Oh, that should be about cooked. I know that compared to what other people do, this is like really basic camp cooking, but until I get, you know, a bit more confident with it, I'm quite happy. Oh mate, that is nice. What we'll do, while that one's cooking, while that one's eating, we'll get the next piece on. It tastes really sweet. That is incredibly nice. That's my favourite marinade yet, that. I'm going to get some eating done, and I'll get back to you shortly. I just wanted to show you this one, because it's got the fat on the edge of it, this one. It's crisp up, lovely. Look at it. Flame grilled, marinated steak. Beautiful. Alright, so I can feel a few drops of rain in the air. And looking at the sky, I don't think it's going to be a light one. So I've saved the biggest piece of steak till last. Oh my god, these tongs make life so much easier. So would have dropped that. And I'm just going to have to cook it. Stay on it. That looks absolutely disgusting, doesn't it? But I can tell you that marinade was absolutely beautiful. Really nice. So I've got bacon for in the morning. I also, last time, just while we're on the subject, last time I showed you these sort of compressed coffee things as a fuel. I haven't bought more. They were sort of in the pack that I bought, and I brought them with me this time. Honestly, they're not great. They're really heavy, but they do kick off quite a bit of smoke. And because I'm in the forest of Galloway, it does have a reputation for midges out here. So I thought if I bring a couple with me, and they're sort of out and about, if I put them on, the smoke that they give off hopefully will drive them away. So what I found, they burnt quite well, but then after a bit they lost, like they just sort of fell apart, and they just sort of ended up just sitting in the bottom of the fire, not really burning. But you know, like I say, special offer and all that lot. That bit on the side's going to fall off, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, well, it'll cook off the heat of the side because it's a metal stove. Yeah, I can really hear the rain coming down now. I don't want to get it on my camera either. It's times like this you just wish you had a brolly. You know, it's great when you see like tarps set up, sort of draped over the tent, and with a pole here and a pole there and tied down. Honestly, all you need is a brolly. If I had a golf umbrella now, this would not be an issue. And you can get them for like a £5 from Sports Direct. Oh, this rain's getting heavy. Right, so, right, I'm going to have to switch the camera off, get my camera away, eat this, and then I'll see you in the tent. Well, it would appear to be tent talk time. You can probably hear it on the tent. It's pretty raining now. Yeah, I think what I said before about a golf umbrella was slightly optimistic. It is fair coming down now. I keep debating whether to go out and stoke the fire to keep it going, but sort of really see the point. I don't think I'm going to be out again. Looking at the sky, this weather's in for the evening. But it just doesn't matter, does it? I've got my tent door open, and it's lovely. It's just, there is something nice about sitting in a tent, listening to the rain on it. It's so relaxing, you know. It's just nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just nice just being out. And let's be honest, when it's teeming down like this, there's less chance of people walking past and stuff like that. I don't think there will be up here, but and I'm a fair distance from the road. And I suppose as it starts getting darker, not having the fire going, there's going to be no chance of anybody seeing me. And I don't, I got a little bit wet in the rain before, but it was nothing. I certainly wasn't soaked to the skin, do you know what I mean? I just finished cooking my steak and dove back into the tent with it. That marinade was really nice, really nice. I was surprised. I've never ever. I am like a bit of a foodie. I'm more of a foodie than I am, certainly than I am a drinker. And I've never, all the restaurants I've been to, I've never ever seen steak with pomegranate. Pomegranate? Yeah, I think that's right. But it was nice. It was quite sweet. It wasn't like sort of like hoisin where it was sticky. It wasn't like a sticky sweet. It was really flavoursome. Wow, that rain's coming down. It's got heavier. Yeah, they're blacker clouds that have come over. And do you know what? Touch wood. There's not been any midges about. I don't know. I mean, what are we on now? We're on the. Oh, we can't see that. Like the 11th of September, something like that. I don't know whether it's a bit late in the season for them, but last time I was in the forest of Galloway, God, I got eaten alive. That was literally the first time I went wild camping, and I didn't take any, no wave on skin so soft, no bug repellent, nothing at all like that. It was, oh wow, yeah. Every bit of skin that was uncovered was just peppered when I got home. But no, I don't care though. I love this. The view from a tent is just nature. As far as the eye can see, it's nature. There's nothing else, and that's a big change. There's no right angles whatsoever. You gotta love that. Anyway, I'll check back in with you soon. The rain's just not let up all night. It's at least it's not got heavier, although it has been consistent all night. There's no sort of respite whatsoever, but it's all good. Like I say, I was speaking to a couple of locals. They warned me about this, so I got my cooking done quick, got everything set up ready, and actually according to them it should be dry sort of really early on in the morning, which is good. So means I'll be able to get up, make some breakfast. I've got bacon and a couple of the excuse me, and a couple of coffees with me for in the morning, which is all good. Yeah, that's pretty much it really. It's yeah, So, like I say, proper quiet one. Well, I finished my last beer. Still raining heavy. So, guess I'll see you guys in the morning. There's no pictures of the night sky or anything like that because it's teeming down. So, but just another lovely night. Do you know what I mean? Just absolutely lovely night. And what I like about this is you experience something, but you learn a lot from it as well. Do you know what I mean? So, what I'm just thinking in my head all the time about next time I do this, what will I bring? How will I adapt? It really is an adventure. It's a constant, ongoing adventure, and that's the whole point to adventure wild camping. Just learn while you're doing. Start off in spring, work your way through, and then when the weather turns, hopefully, you know, you've got enough skills to still enjoy it. So, anyway, I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully it'll be clear skies and bacon butties, and I guess we'll find out then. So, night night. Well, good morning. Excuse me. It's what time is it? It's about 5 to 7. Not a bad night's sleep. Oh, rained and rained and rained. The wind got up pretty high at one point, but the tent stood up brilliantly well. Oh, sorry, sit up a bit. Oh man. Oh, damn it. What a pee I've left one of my shoes outside my tent. Well, I made a soggy walk this morning. But like I say, absolutely warm and dry in the tent all night. That's just not a problem at all. So I'm going to get up. Yeah, I'm going to make a brew and a bacon butty, I think. Hello. So, right, it's brew time. Oh, so I've got up and, well, I say got dressed. I pretty much slept in my clothes. It's a little bit nippy, but it's certainly not uncomfortable. It's very still, very nice morning. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was, after last week's trip, and so I spoke about getting a gas burner. So, I bought one. Now, I've never used one before. It's one of the travel ones. Sort of packed down quite small. So I've got it out of the box before at home. You know, you always do, don't you? So here it is. It's an OEX, which I believe is Go Outdoors's own brand. Now I'm going to use my stove as a wind deflector. I'm assuming that screws onto there. Never done this before, so I'm a little bit nervous about this, but well, okay, there's that. That seems quite self-explanatory. There we go. So now we switch it on. Alright. Happy days. Come here, let me show you. There we go. So I've got it set up in there, as you can see. I'll move you a little bit. I'm assuming you keep the canister sort of a little bit away. Get out. The trusty Vango. Wow, that is heated up really quickly. What does it say? Doesn't say how much water. Go for about 200, 250 mil. Alright, see how that goes, eh? Well, that's boiling. Because let's be honest with you, it's not going to make great viewing, is it? I'll give you a bit of a tour of the site. So, I believe this is Forestry Commission land. Well, you can see in the distance, there's areas that they've felled and obviously just growing back. I'm loving just watching the mist coming across the hill. It's quite weird last night, because the direction that you're looking in now, that's the direction that the wind was coming from. And so you'd hear all the trees rustling first and then the wind would hit the tent. I must admit, it does get a little bit spooky at times. But no. And this is the trail that I came up. You can walk up it, you can get a car up it or a motorbike as long as you're careful. And if you needed it, there is actually plenty of dead standing. So let's see how this is doing. Oh yes! There we go. Oh, there's a few midges about. Pull that back up there. Oh, just leave it there for now. Oh, I'm faffing this morning. That's what happens before I've had my brew. Well, I can tell you that was a lot easier. A lot easier than faffing around with a fire. So like I say, I've never used one of those before. But there's my little coffee. Got one of my toffee nut lattes again. Yeah, that was a lot less faffing than making a second fire in the morning. I think if I was staying here for a good while, a good few hours, yeah, I would make a fire and keep it going. But then, when you come to get going, it's a pain then, because you've got to put your fire out properly. And it uses, the hotter the fire is, the more water it uses, you know. But that really was hassle-free, wasn't it? Well, I'm going to enjoy my brew. I'll get back to you soon. Okay, so as soon as I got my brew and I'm like, you know what, I want my breakfast. It's not working out great, but we are getting there. Oh, here we are. So, we're not far off, are we? Like that. Well, I can honestly tell you, first thing in the morning, I'm a convert to gas stoves. Talk about convenient. So, there's the bacon, get it wrapped up, get it eaten, and I'll get back to you shortly. Hello again. So, this is me sort of signing off. So, again, really good camp, really enjoyed it. Weather could have been a bit better, but let's be honest, that is part of the adventure, especially if you're going to do this all year round, which is what I'm hoping to do. So just to show you, this is Leave No Trace. See, my bike's still there, loaded up. There's a little makeshift puck there, I'll be taking that with me. But as you can see, just leave no trace. You can sort of see there's a little bit of flattened grass where my tent was, but that'll bounce back. One last look. Just this beautiful scenery. I'm hoping you can see the mist sort of coming through the trees. It's beautiful just watching it, just wisp across. But, well, thanks very much for watching. I'll post again on my next little adventure, and hopefully I'll see you then. Okay, take it easy. Bye now.